Here at Let's Fish TV, we are always shopping around for good places to take you fishing. And a couple of years ago, we discovered a place we'd never seen before. It turned out really well. We're going back there for a different species of fish, and we're taking you with us in the next half hour. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Hi everybody, I'm so glad you joined us for this week's episode. If you're a regular viewer of our show, a couple of years ago, you saw us discovering a lake we had never visited before in Georgia. Well, we're back here again today. Just over my left shoulder, I'd like to welcome you into beautiful Lake Oconee. It's located about an hour to an hour and a half southeast of Atlanta. It's one of the wealthiest counties, wealthiest areas in the entire state, but it's also home to some fantastic fishing. If you saw our episode a couple of years ago, you saw us catching fantastic hybrid striped bass down by the dam. Well, this week, we're gonna do something completely different. We're going the other way, further up the lake, and we're going crappie fishing. We've got a couple of guides that are friends of mine that are gonna help show us the way around. And we're gonna be taking out a beautiful fishing machine. You may have seen this before. This is our beautiful Blazer 650 Pro Tour. It's everything you could ever want in a bass boat. It's got all the toys, all the goodies, my Mercury Pro XS 250 on the back, my power poles, my Motor Guide Tour Pro trolling motor. We're gonna take this out and go crappie fishing today. And while we're out there, we're gonna be taking you around your local region for this week's fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters, both freshwater and saltwater. Right now, we head down the lake in the Blazer. Next time you see me, I'll be crappie fishing. Let's get it all started back at the studio in your weekend planner.
Hi there, so glad you're with us. The salooner tables are indicating fair game fish activity on Saturday and good activity on Sunday. Peak morning hours begin at 9:55 on Saturday and 10:27 on Sunday. Nighttime game fish activity will begin around 10:20 on Saturday and 10:52 Sunday. Depending on your area, the sun will rise around 6:33 and set at 8:14. Night fishing will be dark with a moon at only 7% visibility. We'll be right back to check all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area. Plus, I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler David Mullins to answer this week's Ask the Pro questions. Stick with us.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury. Go boldly. Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Get our free fishing guide at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor. The tour is back. Blazer, high-performance boats for high-performance anglers.
And there is just a perfect example of what you can catch here. That's just an average size crappie. There he is. All right, we got a crappie. Again, he's right up on top. We got to start. Come in here, Oconee. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome back. We've made it out crappie fishing on beautiful Lake Oconee, Georgia, southeast of Atlanta. And there is just a perfect example of what you can catch here. That's just an average size crappie. Now this is not a lake where you're going to catch the big giant 3-pound crappie like you would at a place like Grenada or some of those lakes over in Mississippi, but that's just a good solid fish. Back he goes. We're not keeping him today, but that would make a great keeper. There's no size limit on the crappie here, so you can keep any size. Well, let me orient you a little bit to beautiful Lake Oconee. This lake is on the Oconee River. It's dammed up by the Wallace Dam that separates Oconee from Sinclair Lake downstream. This lake is about a little less than 20,000 surface acres, which makes it the second largest lake in Georgia. It's got 375 miles of shoreline, so it's really spread out with lots of creeks and arms and ditches and canals running every which direction. It's about 20 feet deep, average. The channel runs 20, 25, 30 feet deep in most places. The water is just kind of a little off-colored, a little bit stained, but it's not muddy by any stretch. What we're doing now is we've just found an open stump field out here, and I'll explain more about exactly how we're fishing, but I'm just going down through here and fishing some standing timber that's located out in about 15 to 20 feet of water. I've got a long jig pole. I'll explain the equipment we're using later as well.
Well, spring fishing is in high gear. Everything from Spanish mackerel to cobia to inshore fishing to trout and redfish. I'll have all the details, but first this from our good friends at Miralure. Miralure, building quality saltwater lures since 1937, including the new line of Miradine plugs. Turn on the bite anytime, try on a Miralure. Spanish mackerel have shown up and the fishing is good. It's all along the southeast Georgia coast. They're catching them from Savannah to St. Mary's. This is really great fun family sport. It's mainly trolling. You can catch them with cast lures too. Cobia fishing also has been good along the southeast coast of Georgia and off the coast of Mississippi. In Georgia, they're a little bit further offshore around the reefs and wrecks and tide line rips. Over in the Gulf, in Mississippi, there's been catching plenty of fish chumming around the islands. The sandbars off the islands have been very good, the barrier islands, and also the oil rigs all on that Mississippi, Alabama coast have been very good. You can jig to catch them and also live bait and troll for them. Amberjack season is open. That's a big thing in the Gulf. So work those reefs for amberjacks now. And spotted sea trout are hitting real well on the beaches of Alabama and Mississippi. Well, that's it for the southeast coast. Get out in the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
There we go. Fish on. There's another one. Not as big. Boy, they are fat, and look where he ate that jig. All the way down in the back of his throat. All right, there's another Oconee crappie for you right there. Well, let me explain quickly that we're doing two types of fishing today. Here's kind of the setup today. I've got two rods out. I've got a shorter one and a longer one. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for open water fish that I'm actually looking for on my sonar equipment, on my Lowrance Active Target, on the end of my pole here, my fishing specialties pole, and I'm scanning and looking for crappie that are just sitting out in open water. They're feeding on bait, and there's a lot of bait balls out here. So I'm pitching at those. That's what that was. Then I'm easing around these stumps, this standing timber, and I'm dabbling, basically just old-fashioned. They used to call it doodle socking. Those of you under about 30 years old have no clue what that is, but you just drop it straight down beside a log or a stump. These are all pole timber standing straight up off the bottom. So dropping it straight down next to those. That's two types of fishing we're doing today. This big stump field is probably, I'm gonna say, 1/4 of a mile long and maybe 200 yards wide. That's kind of the size of the area I'm fishing, and I'm just easing around in here, hitting the stumps, pitching at the open water fish, and between the two, it looks like we've got some action going. So that's your setup. That's what we're doing today. Two different rods for two different styles of fishing. There are only black crappie in this lake. That's really interesting. Black crappie are the ones that have all these black specks. There's one on my screen right there. That's a big one. That's a big one. Bite it, bite it, bite it. He got it, he got it, he got it. That was so cool. Ooh, that's a good pull. Having a hard time getting him up out of that deep water. There we go. Good crappie. Good crappie. That's what I'm after. All right. And there we go. That's a nice crappie. Let me tell you something. we've got a guide that's helping us out. We'll give you all the contact information, actually 2 guides at the end of the show. But Joe told me that there are only black crappie in this lake. That's really interesting. Black crappie are the ones that have all these black specks all down their sides like this, kind of a model pattern like this. White crappie have bars down their sides. Black crappie don't get as large as white crappie do. All your big giant crappie are usually white crappie. But it's interesting that this lake only has black crappie in it, and that's a good sized black crappie since they don't get as big. That crappie will probably go 1.25 pounds to 1.5 pounds, something like that. So that's just a good solid fish. And let me tell you something else about this lake. They've got a generous limit here. As I mentioned, there's no size limit, so you can keep all the crappie of any size, and you can keep 30 per person per day. So you can make a nice mess of fish here in Oconee, and just a beautiful day today, and I've got these fish working out here. I saw that one on my screen. I'll show you a quick shot of what some of these fish look like on my Lowrance active target up here on my HDS live display. But they're sitting out here, some of them in open water, some of them on timber, and they're just round blobs. That's the crappie. The long skinny ones, that's gar, or there's some stripers in here too. But that's the ones I'm looking for, is those big blobs, those big round ones like that.
Hey y'all, it's time for your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina, the leader in water sports along the Grand Strand. We want to get you out to live like a local while you're in town visiting. Or if you're a local, we can get you out there and show you exactly how to enjoy the water here. If you'll visit crazysistermarina.com, I promise you'll find something that you want to do on the water, and we can make it happen. From offshore, inshore, nearshore, kayak rentals, eco tours, dolphin tours, it doesn't matter. We offer it all right here. We're going to stay in the freshwater side of things, and I'll tell you what, now is the time to grab those kids, get them in the boat, and head out and go chase those flatfish, those panfish, those brim, those shell crackers, red breasts, and crappie. It's an incredible time to get out. Grab those crickets, worms, shiners, jigs, beetle fins. Find those areas with some eddies. Get in those deeper areas on those smaller creeks. And we're going to talk about bass fishing. You know, Falls Lake and Jordan Lake really showed out on the MLF a couple weeks ago. Start looking for those fish to start feeding really good outside of those bedding areas. Get out there and start fishing a little bit deeper. Watch those electronics. You find the bait, you're going to find the fish right now. This has been your Carolinas Report. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pole, total boat control. Visit Mississippi. Good times are close by. Low Boats, 50 years of boating craftsmanship. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Just under the water, I'm going to let it go down right beside it. Got it. He got it. I can see this stump just under the water. I'm going to let it go down right beside it. Got him. He got it. How about that? Isn't that cool? Well, I'm going to show you this as soon as I get this fish in. He is a fighter too. Up he comes. I want you to look at this. First, I want to show you a big, fat fish right there. Then, I want to show you this stump. Look right here. Look right at the end of my rod. Right there. There's the stump that fish was on. So, you know, a lot of this fishing gets pretty technical with a lot of the sonar and the active target that I'm using to actually scan and see the fish. But if you just want to go old school, you can still just go down through these stump fields and just drop it down right beside these stumps. What really helps me do that too, I've got this long rod. You'll notice, normally I like to fish with a shorter rod. That's a 7-footer right there. These are both the Lew's Pro Target rods. That's one I kind of cast and pitch with, but this is one that I can reach with. So what you want to do is open your bail, get you some line out, and then you just want to pitch See, there's a stump right there. So you just pitch, let a little line out, and let it go down. That's the technique right there. If you just, let's say you've just got a John boat and a trolling motor and you just want to go try to catch some, all through the warm weather months, these fish will get out on these deeper stick-ups in standing timber. And if you'll just go down and drop it right next to it, let it go down real slow, and you can watch, see how I'm feeding it down? Keeping a tight line. That way when one bites it, I can see my line jump.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama Report. It's brought to you this week by TH Marine. You've heard me time and time again tell you why you should go to thmarine.com and check out their product line, and I'm going to tell you one more time. Whether you're just a casual boater, pleasure boater, PWC owner, go over there and find the things that they've designed to make your life easier, more convenient. thmarine.com for all the details. So let's start in Tennessee. My favorite place on earth to go bluegill fishing or crappie fishing really is Reelfoot Lake. I love to stay at Blue Bank Resort. Their guides are phenomenal. Ask for Billy Blakely. Go fishing with him. You'll be glad you did. In Mississippi, I'm still going to go crappie fishing. They're still catching them in the jungle, so to speak, up in the thick stuff. Grenada is going to be my choice if I'm going over there right now. And you can catch them out of a boat. You can catch them wading. It's a lot of fun. And then in Alabama, I'm going to go to Guntersville, and we're going to go bluegill and shellcracker fishing again. Guntersville has a great population of these fun panfish to catch, big ones too. I prefer to throw a little jig head with a cricket on a spinning rod, but you can also take a kid and use a push button. You can put a red worm under a float. There's really no wrong way to do it. So just get out there, have a good time, take someone and let them share the experience with you. God bless you. See you next week.
He got it. He got it. That's cool. Oh my, that is neat. Visual fishing. Well, we've showed you every way to catch these crappie. We've showed you just dabbling along right beside these stumps that you can see, and that one was right there, kind of just out beside some stumps, and you could see that fish on my active target just laying there. Man, I kind of hate throwing these back. Man. Before we go to this break, I want to mention a couple of things. One, we're staying at the lodge at Lake Oconee, which is right on the shore of the lake. It's a beautiful place. They've got clean, comfortable rooms. They've got a little breakfast for you in the morning. They've got a beautiful back deck fire pit area that you can walk out on and have a beer in the evening or have some coffee in the morning. They've got a dock you can fish off of. You don't even have to have a boat to come here. And then here are the guides. Joe Partenza is the crappie guide, and he's an expert at using this scanning technology like we just saw that fish on, and he can teach you how to do that or get you on some of these crappie. And then Doug Nelms is my guy when I want to catch stripers or hybrid stripers. And we caught a bunch here last year at this time with Doug's help. So that's all your contact information. If you'd like to plan a little mini vacation to beautiful Lake Oconee, it's got beautiful properties all the way around it. The water's beautiful and several different species of fish in case you want to come here.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose. Feel the difference. Waypoint Customs. Customize your boat your way. Strike King. Tie one on. Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Fishing Specialties. Makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right on to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Tommy wants to know, who is your hero and why? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler David Mullen.
So again, yeah, I get tore up thinking about it, but my mom's definitely my hero, and like I said, she sacrificed a lot for me. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for her. I remember when I was 18 years old, we had a little I can't even talk about it, I'm sorry. We had a little aluminum boat, and she sacrificed her time we traded in. She actually bought me a brand new bass boat when I was 18 years old. I can't believe I'm getting this story about it, but anyway, she's my hero. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to do this. She sacrificed money and time for me, and encouraged me all the time to fish local tournaments, and you know, she's a wonderful person. Anybody you talk to, you know, they all love her, and she's just she sacrifices for everybody else, and that's why she's my hero.
Thanks so much, David, and a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there this weekend. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time to find out who wins this week's Big Catch of the Week.
We are back at the boat ramp, and we have the Blazer 650 Pro back on its trailer here at beautiful Lake Oconee in Georgia. And it's time right now for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. He's Robert Walker of Madisonville, Tennessee, with a 5-pound, 11-ounce largemouth bass he caught at Tellico Lake in Tennessee. If you'd like to have you and your big fish shown on our show, just go to our website at letsfishtv.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page to the Big Catch of the Week area, and follow the instructions. You might be our next winner.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, here's a lot of the gear that we use to find and catch these fish today, beginning with the Lew's Wally Marshall Pro Target rods. Again, I used a 7-footer and a 10-footer for the two different applications that we showed you. We also showed you the baits. This is the Strike King Lightning Shad. That's the one that wound up catching the fish today in a real light translucent color. And one other critical piece of gear is my Fishing Specialties Bowdeucer mount system. It's got my Lowrance Active Target mounted to the bottom. It's on a pole. It easily comes out and stores right on the deck of your boat every time you'd like to move, just like your fishing rods. You can check them out at the website you see on your screen. One of my buddies, Josiah Jones, speaking at a seminar at my church, said this: "We say what we think, but we do what we believe." Man, that is powerful. If we truly believe in something all the way to the core of our being, we'll sacrifice, we'll endure criticism, we'll invest time or money. I'll do that for my family, for my good friends, for my faith in God. What is it that you believe so strongly that your actions speak much louder than your words? That says more about you than anything you might ever say. We had a great time catching those crappie today at Lake Oconee. I want to give you one more quick look at the lodge on Lake Oconee, where we stay every time we come here. They do a great job, beautiful rooms, right on the shore of the lake. You walk right out the back door. They got a beautiful back deck area and a dock where you can go out there and fish or have fun. And if you want to book a guide trip here, you can contact my friend Joe Partenza for a crappie fishing trip, or Doug Nelms for a striper or hybrid striper fishing trip. All the fishing here is really good, and those are all of your contacts. Thanks for joining us from southeast of Atlanta, Georgia's Lake Oconee. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.